Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Anthony Hilburn. I work here at Alivio Medical Center in the Physical Therapy Department. So, today we're going to talk about ergonomics. So, what is ergonomics? Ergonomics is basically, break it down in simplest terms, the study of adapting the jobs people do to the people who do them. The old way of thinking is you could find the right person to fit your job. Now, to a certain extent, can that help? Because if you have a job that requires reaching up high, being taller does help. Not a requirement, though, because there are such things as a stool. Um, or if it requires reaching low, that's a little trickier if you're really tall, but you can probably, you know, rig some stuff because really any job should fit 95% of the people out there. There's going to be exceptions. If it's tight, small spaces, there are certain people where it's going to be a struggle. Could they probably do it? They could probably do it, but it'd be a little bit tougher. So one of the things we look at when we look at ergonomics, we very much base it on the particular setting that we're in. So if it's a meat packing plant, we're going to look at the individual job, not the group of jobs. The reason being is because, having worked in a beef processing plant, there are quite a few different jobs there that require different skills and abilities. So when we do this, what we end up looking at is who typically works here. What do they have to do? How far do they reach? How high do they reach? How low do they reach? How repetitive is their job? So we take all that into account, and then we come up with, well, we can change this. We can move this button here. We can change the table height here. We can add a stool. We can remove a stool. We can add an anti-fatigue mat. We can do all these subtle changes. And typically for me to go through a job and do something like that doesn't take all that long. And I try to do it as cost effectively as possible, because if I go to somebody and say, well, you need to spend $5,000 to fix this, I can be like, not so much. But if I say, hey, you can spend $50 and fix this and reduce your work comp cost by 20%, which may be, $4,000 or $5,000, $50 doesn't sound too bad. So if it's a office setting, we can assess, is the desk the right height? Is the computer monitor the right height? Is everything that should be reachable? And, things that are needing to be reached for more often, are they within a good reaching distance? We can make all these adjustments, and we can usually do it fairly inexpensively. We can also, if somebody really wants to go really fancy, we can go really fancy, and the sky's the limit in what you can theoretically spend for some of these things. And occasionally I run into employers who are like, oh, we really don't want to spend that. Not that they can't, but they don't. So one of the things I do is sit down with the employers and look at what these things cost them from a work comp standpoint. So a few years ago, I believe it was the Department of Labor, came out with average cost. And one of the most common injuries is low back injuries. So what they did is they calculated, on average, a low back work comp cost is about $20,000, give or take. So, but that's an average. That's from the people who have just a little minor strain, that's, a couple of doctor visits, a couple of prescriptions, and they're fine, to those patients with multiple back surgeries, because back surgery is $40, $50, $60 plus $1,000. So there's that wide range. But when you factor in missed time from work, then you're paying other people to do their work. Then you're paying for doctor's offices. You're paying for therapy visits, chiropractor visits, massage visits. All these visits costs add up rather quickly, and then your work comp costs for insurance goes up, so then you end up paying more out of pocket that way. So our goal really here is to work with the employee and the employer to maximize the working environment for the employee. because also a patient or an employee who is more comfortable in less pain is more productive. They're more productive, they make you more money. They get more stuff done for you. So you offset your costs that way. And I've had pretty good success in the past with employers doing that. Because I have several ergonomic certifications, I can write OSHA level job descriptions and recommendations so that companies can be more OSHA compliant with their employees, which will also help their bottom line, especially when you have disgruntled employees due to working environments. So, we here at Alivio Medical Center aim to do this. We can partner with the physicians to cover workman's comp from start to finish. The initial physician visit for the injury, continue with therapy. If they need a massage, we have massage here as well. And then hopefully get them back and running as quickly as possible. Like I said, work comp visits, they vary a little bit because the physician has some role in that, some cases more than others. But really, once somebody is pain-free, doing everything they need to do, back at work 100%, they don't need to keep coming to therapy. And I'm honest with the patients and I'm honest with the employers, because my goal is to get the patient better, but also do a good job by the employers, because I want them to have all their patients come and see me because they know the quality of care that they will get. So that's our basic approach here with work comp. If you have any questions, you can throw a comment below. If you're interested in assessments, we can run the gamut. We will come to a workplace assessment, make recommendations we can do fit for duty screens for, new employees. So when they come in, we can run them through a basic battery of tests and give you information on what the range of motion looks like, what their grip strength looks like, their ability to do basic mobility things, so that as an employer, what your person is starting with. So if they do get an injury, you kind of have a baseline to go off of when they have the return to work portion. So you can reach us at Alivio Medical Center at 371-635-3499, extension 3. Otherwise, you can send us an email at Alivio physicaltherapy.com. Up in the top right corner, there's an email button. Otherwise, you can visit us at Alivio PT at Facebook. Alivio PT at Facebook. Have a good day, and I will talk to you later.